Oftentimes, as cruise passengers, we wonder what are the gifts that we can give crew members or the things that we can do to make their lives easier. Recently, I had an eye-opening conversation with a crew member, and I wanted to share that information with you. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I see this topic of conversation come up a lot. What are the kinds of gifts that people can give crew members? And people really do want to recognize, show their appreciation to crew members. So in this video, I'm going to share with you like 7 different things that you can do, some gifts that you can give crew members that will actually really make a difference in their lives. And this is, well, tangible and also non-tangible things. So you'll definitely have a good list here. And I am going to share with you the story that a crew member told me that really kind of opened my eyes to something that I really hadn't thought about before. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. So the first thing, and this has to be said right away, cash is king. Crew members need cash. They want cash. They want their tips. They want their gratuities. They want extra cash. If there's nothing else that you do for crew members on a cruise ship, they are going to appreciate this. Now, of course, the reason for this is that crew members work really hard. They're living on a cruise ship for months on end away from their families because this is money that they can earn much more oftentimes than what they can earn at home. And they send this money back to their families. So this is obviously the most important thing. So really try maybe not to remove the auto gratuities. And if there is somebody or more than one crew member that has really served you well and you appreciate them, consider bringing along some extra cash to be able to give them either at the beginning of the cruise or even at the end of the cruise. It really is very appreciated. Now, what about tangible gifts? A lot of people say they do want to bring crew members something a little bit more tangible, even though they are still giving tips. So this is something to remember. Tangible gifts are not instead of a tip, it really is on top of a tip if you want to. But something to remember is crew members' cabins are very small. And if everybody gave them a mug that said best crew member, they wouldn't have room in their cabin. So don't do that. Leave that at home. But the consensus seems to be that if you give them something that is edible, of course, something that is unopened and that is non-perishable, but if you bring them some candy or some treats, either some local things from your hometown or just some things that they can share with other crew members, that is very appreciated. So I'm going to list off some things. I asked this question in on my Facebook page, and there were some really good ideas, some things that I had never even heard of. But so I'll list them out here because I do think it could be kind of fun to think about. So some of the things, of course, was for Canadians and people who live in the Vermont area, was to bring maple syrup candies and that kind of thing. I've also heard of tasty cakes, which I had never heard of before, but this apparently is something that is sold in the Philadelphia area and people bring to crew members on cruise ships. Now, other local treats could be shortbread from Scotland, Hawaiian Host chocolate covered macadamia nuts. Those sound really good. And Seattle chocolate candies. Now, if you've ever brought some local treats or just some candies and chocolates like Hershey's or Ferrero Rochers to crew members, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you are a crew member, please let us know what are the things that you actually like getting. Number 3, toiletries and convenience items. Now, I know earlier in the pandemic, we were definitely hearing that crew members weren't able to get off from the cruise ship and they were having a hard time just getting a lot of their basic things like shampoo or deodorant or toothpaste. My understanding is that really has resolved itself. With time, they've been able to get off the cruise ship or they're able to kind of get orders delivered to their cruise ship. So a lot of crew members do say that they have enough of that. If you've heard anything different, please let us know down in the comments below. But some things that you still may want to bring that are some basics that some people have said that they've brought and that crew members still don't have maybe enough of are things like chapstick, travel laundry pods, dryer sheets. And you can always ask, if you do strike up a conversation with crew members, you can always ask them if there is anything that they need and you can always pick it up in port. Positive comments. Now, positive comments actually mean the world to crew members. And in some cases, they can even be as valuable as tips and cash. And what I am talking about is basically filling out those surveys at the end of the cruise. So while that's important, other ways that you can also leave positive comments is by filling out comment cards during the cruise. You can also talk to the supervisor of the department where that crew member is working. So basically talking to their boss and just singing their praises. Those positive comments directly to the company or to their bosses. Now, those positive comments can really yield big results for crew members, from promotions, raises, and as well for rewards. Now, on our recent cruise, we talked to a lovely crew member. She took our photo. We spoke with her for a little while, really had a great, honestly, eye-opening conversation. But one of the things that we talked about was the fact that she was going on an excursion that day. Now, this excursion was with a cruise line for crew members, and this was a reward. And you can imagine, for crew members, they go into all of these beautiful places. They're traveling the world, but most of the time they only get a couple of hours, if any time, to actually get out into the port. And most of the time they stay close by to the port area. They can't really go very far, and they might even be getting off the ship just to use the Wi-Fi. You will actually see that when you get off at the cruise ports. So to be able to do an actual excursion, I think this was a catamaran snorkeling excursion, she was so excited to be able to do this. And she said she had earned this on her cruise through the rewards that she got for doing a really good job. And in part, that was part of the customer or the guest experience comments. Now, here's a little tip. If you're filling out that survey at the end of the cruise, it can be hard to remember all of the cruise names once we get off the cruise ship. So take a photo during the cruise of some of your favorite cabin attendants, your waiters, your assistant waiters, the different people that you've met during the cruise. Take a photo of their name badge, or just take note of their name and the department that they work in. A handwritten note. Now, personally, I wouldn't give a handwritten note without giving a tip along with it. But along with a tip, a handwritten note can really be something that crew members are going to cherish. I know some people are going to say crew members are never going to keep that note, and perhaps they're not going to, but it can still make a really big impact when they do read this note. And this is really based on that conversation with this crew member. And what she had explained to me was something I really hadn't thought about, I guess, deeply before. She'd explained to me that for many crew members, they're away from home for months on end. This can be a really lonely time, especially now because the interactions between crew members are more limited than they were in the past. For a lot of crew members, it might be their very first contract, like at all, even ever, because so many crew members are new. And for a lot of people, this is just kind of a lonely experience, being so far away from home. And this handwritten note can really humanize the relationship between the crew member and the passenger, and really kind of show the impact, even for that crew member, the impact that they are having. This for them is not really just a job. This is their life for at least months at a time. And to know that they've made this positive impact on the guest experience really is meaningful for them. So maybe take the time to write that handwritten note. I know for me personally, in the future, I'm definitely going to take the time to get to know the crew members a little bit better, and to really personalize that note at the end of my cruise. Be nice. Now, I know this should go without saying, but really, I think it's a good gift that we can give crew members, is just to be nice, to be appreciative, to say thank you, to smile. So to make their time on board as pleasant as possible, they are serving us at the same time, to just make this a nice experience both ways. If we are nice to crew members and if we are very appreciative, they're also going to be more giving to us. It really is a win-win situation. Something that you can do for your cabin attendant in particular is to try to keep your cabin just a little bit tidy. Now, obviously, don't stress about this one. They're there to clean your cabin. But if you can pick up some of the items, like just before you leave your cabin, in the morning time when you go out for the day, or in the evening time if they are turning down your bed at nighttime, just pick up some of the clothes, that kind of thing. So try not to have your items strewn around the cabin, because they are short on time a little bit more now even than before. So this way you give them a little bit more time to do the actual cleaning, and you can do the picking up or the tidying up yourself. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I would really like to hear from you, whether you're a crew member or you're a cruise passenger. What are the kinds of things that you think that crew members would really like to give? And what are the kinds of things that we could do to make crew members' lives just a little bit easier? Please let me know down in the comments below. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would love to have you here within the Life Well Cruise community. Bye for now, and happy cruising.